What is up, guys? Jake from One Hive here with the next, I guess you could call it, attack strategy video. This is one that I know a lot of people have been waiting on for a while. I put one out very early on when the Queen Walk sort of first came about and talked about it briefly and sort of summarized it, but never an in-depth ultimate guide like this. And hopefully this is going to demystify it a lot, let you guys help plan your Queen Walks a little bit better, give you more information on it, about her behavior. You'll be able to predict it more. There's still some times that it's very, very close which way she'll go and things like that. But for the most part, if you follow these steps and you take the time to count tiles, you can predict where she's going to go and what she's going to attack next. And I think that will help a lot of people. So let's get right into it. The first question I get asked all the time, so I want to get it out of the way, is what levels does my queen have to be? And guys, you're asking the wrong question. It's not about what level your queen is. Your queen could be level 10 and you can pull off a queen walk if you're hitting the right base. Think about it this way. If it was a Town Hall 7 and you had a level 10 queen with max healers, you would not be afraid to use her as a queen walk. And I know that's an extreme example, but as you move your way up, your queen needs to be higher level. I wouldn't be trying to queen walk a maxed out defense Town Hall 9 with a level 30 queen that I was going to get into, or CC troops and all that stuff, with a level 10 queen. So just use your judgment and experiment. You've got to learn what works for you, what you're able to queen walk. But in general, level 10, level 15 queen, you can start queen walking things and getting these objectives taken care of and using it on your attacks. How many healers do I need to bring? That's a question that is completely base specific. There's no way I can tell you that. You might only need one, you might only need two, you might need 4 or 5. It just depends on how much damage your queen's going to be taking at one time. And when we talk about damage, we're for the most part talking about point defense, archer towers, cannons, Teslas, especially Teslas, expos. Those are the things you got to watch out for. And the more of those she's going to encounter at one time, the more you're going to need. If she's only going to encounter maybe 2 of those at one time, maybe 2 healers you get by with it. If she's not going to take out a hero, if she's not going to take out the CC troops, she's just going to take out a double giant bomb area, and she's only going to encounter a couple of point defense. Don't waste the troop space. Think about it this way, guys. Healers are basically replacing golems. For every 2 healers you got, you could bring a golem for that essentially. Maybe not. It's really close, 28 troop space to 30 troop space. And you have to decide, could I get more for that golem with a kill squad behind it? Or can I get more out of this queen walk? Now, it's not a direct correlation about buildings, because a lot of times your queen is in great shape. She's up to the very end with full health. There's a lot of things that go into it. But just look at it that way and don't think that queen walking everything, because a lot of times people queen walk and they take out a bunch of trash buildings and a few defenses that have no strategic value. They might be bringing an air attack and not get any air defenses. They might be bringing a hog attack and not eliminate any giant bomb areas and think, why did my queen walk not work? So you have to know what you're getting for it. Like everything, it's a risk reward, an investment, return on that investment that you have to weigh out. The last thing is, what basis should I queen walk? What am I looking for in that? And we sort of just touched on that. If you're doing an air attack, you should be looking to take out air defenses, take out that enemy queen, take out CC troops. Those are all important things that a queen walk can take care of to make your air attack that much easier. If you're looking for a hog attack, you should be looking again for the queen to be taking her out. Even the king is a pretty good value when you're doing a queen walk in a hog attack. And obviously, known or potential double giant bomb locations. When you take those things out, those are what's giving your queen walk more value than just, oh, she took out this many defenses and this much percentage of the base. It's all about making the rest of the attack easier on yourself. So let's get into some attacks. We want to talk about it sort of in stages and what you should be looking for, like we just did, and how it works when you're doing it. Because the queen walk has had a slight nerf. Used to you could bring in more healers, but right now sort of the sweet spot is 4 healers if she's going to be doing a lot. She's going to be encountering 3 or more point defense at one time. She's going to be dealing with CC troops. She's going to be dealing with an enemy king or queen or both. Probably 3 to 4 healers is where you want to be at, and that is not very much diminishing return. So you can get away with that. You have 2 tools to keep your queen alive in a queen walk. And I'm not talking about your healers. Obviously, your healers keep her alive. But the 2 tools you have to overcome what the queen can't deal with just her healers are rages and your queen's ability. Now, there's different times you should use different ones of those, and you should have it planned in your head. And you should pretty much know when it's going to be too much. If you get 3 point defense on your queen at one time, and she's not taking out one of those defenses immediately, she's working on a storage or something, you're going to have to use a rage and keep her up there. There's no question about it. And I'm going to show you some attacks in just a moment, people using these different tools to keep her up. If you are going to be dealing with the CC troops, you are going to have to use a rage or her ability. I recommend using her ability on CC troops, using a rage on point defense that is overwhelming her, and heroes when she encounters those. The rages can keep her up right through even a level 30 healer, a queen or a king. It doesn't matter. The rages, as long as you rage your healers and your queen, no problem. There's no amount of point defense that a rage can't keep, those healers can't keep her up with. You're going to get 3, maybe even 4 point defense on her. You drop a rage on those healers, she pops right back up to full health. So that is your primary use of the rages for point defense, for dealing with heroes. CC troops can overwhelm even a raged healer queen combo. So in my opinion, it's best when you're dealing with CC troops, dragons, balloons, P.E.K.K.A., a bunch of art wizards, whatever. They can actually burn her down fast enough that even your healer can't keep it up when they're raged. So go ahead and burn that ability. Take her out of the fight. Make her invisible. And while they're getting taken out, your healers will have her at full health when it's all said and done, and she'll be fine. So those are my 2 suggestions. We'll look at a few attacks right now to sort of illustrate those. I'll be right back with an attack for you. All right, in this particular attack, Giza is taking on a P.E.K.K.A. coming out of the CC. And as you'll see here in just a moment, drops the rage down on the healer and on the queen. And you even got a wounded P.E.K.K.A. here that's had a poison dropped on it. But right here, drops it down. And look at the shot right there. That's 1 shot from the P.E.K.K.A. The only other thing that's hitting this queen is that wizard tower. So we're not even talking about another point defense on top of it. Just a splash damage. But look at this right here. 1 more shot. Almost dies again. Now, even though Giza has dropped the rage on the healers, on the queen, is forced to go ahead and use the ability right here to prevent, because a shot right there, 1 more shot, could have taken it out. So really actually wasted the rage. When the P.E.K.K.A. came over, could have simply used the ability that phased a queen. Even at a level 30, guys, if there had been a point defense or something on there, they just burn through it too quickly. So you've got to go ahead and play it smart. You don't want to waste either rages or your ability, because again, those are your 2 escape items for your queen. Those are the 2 that get her out of trouble, the get out of jail free card, and you don't want to be wasting them like right here, like Giza did. Nothing against Giza. I mean, I've done it. We've all done it. You just make the wrong decision. But in general, plan on using your ability for the CC troops, and you won't have to use a rage. Whether it's dragons, P.E.K.K.A.s, it almost doesn't matter. Just plan on that, and you'll be in pretty good shape. Let's go to another example where the rage actually took them through the heroes, even with maxed out level 30 heroes. All right, here's an example from our current scrimmage that we're having right now, and Dirt is attacking Ziggy. Coming up to the top here, and you can see that this queen is bound to encounter both of these heroes. The king, level 30, the queen, level 30, and is going to get them both. Actually has a cannon that in just a moment, when the queen's dealing with it, takes out or gets targeted onto her as well. But look at this right here. The king is level 30, just rages that queen up, rages the healers up, and look how quickly she gets healed back up even from 1 hit. Boom. I mean, you barely even see it happen. No problem. Level 30 king, no problem. Here is level 30 queen and a cannon targeting her, no problem. The raged healers keep her up, burn right through both of them. So again, just to reiterate, I know I've said it a million times, I'm going to say it 1 more time for you guys. Use that rage for heroes, and if you get into a situation where she's getting hit by several Teslas or a lot of point defense, the raged healers can just burn her, just fill her right back up. And also, if you drop it correctly, the queen gets the advantage of the rage too. I see a lot of people drop it on the queen and actually accidentally miss the healers. Guys, the healers are more important to be raged than the queen actually is. Both is preferred. Just drop it right in between them. But make sure those healers get raged. That's what's going to keep your queen alive, or you're going to end up having to burn both again. All right, let's get out of here and go back to talking more about the queen walk and about her range. All right, a big part of the queen walk is knowing what she can get to. I've screwed this up before, just not counting tiles correctly. I'm sure you guys have maybe thought she would get to something, or that she would go to something, and she didn't. And then if you're not getting that value for the queen walk, obviously, what's the point? In general, guys, she is always going to target the closest building. Now, that's just the way it is. She's got a range, and we're going to get really into depth on her range and how she determines what the, quote, closest building is. But when you drop her down, if she's on a tile, she is going to target the closest building to her. Now, there are times when the closest building is not within her shooting range, which is going to make her go to the next closest building that is within her shooting range, and we'll get more into that. But let's really break down what, quote, the closest building is and why she does what she does. Her vision and her range are two different things, and we're going to get really into depth on that. But let's look at the first attack that really illustrates how you can say, okay, this is the closest building, and this is why she went this direction. All right, looking at this scenario from our last war, Alpha Dog has a situation where the queen has just taken out a mortar in this position right here. So now she's faced with the dilemma. What is, quote, the next closest building? And she's going to be dealing with the CC troops in just a moment. But looking at this, we talked about her range is 5 tiles, okay? So if she is standing on a specific tile, she can actually shoot a building, a defense, whatever, up to 5 tiles away. So if you look at this right here, she's standing right in the middle. The wall is 1 space. Then this building represents 3 spaces. There is 1 space in between these 2 defenses, and that would be 6 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. So the X-bow is out of play. It is the closest building to her, but it's not within her range. Now, in a situation like this, when the queen is 6 spaces away and that's the closest building, she will not necessarily shoot a wall. What she first does is, let's just, think about it as a human would. She looks out. She looks out around the horizon. What is in my vision range? Now, her vision range and her shooting range are 2 different things. If another building that she can reach, that is within 5 tiles of a tile she can stand on, is within 8 tiles of her, she will redirect and go to that building. If it's not, if there's nothing in her range that is within 8 tiles, she will actually shoot that wall and get to that next closest building, which would be the X-bow. But in this situation, let's count the tiles up. She's standing right in the middle of this one. There's 1 tile there, 2. This represents 3, 4, 5. Is that right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me, 7. Back counting there. 1 to this tile, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles. So this is within her vision range, this particular building. Now you might say, okay, what about these over here? Well, let's count it up. You've got 1, again, she's standing in the middle. So 1, 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8 tiles away. So we've got 7 versus 8. So technically, this is the closest building that is within her vision. So that is where she's going next. Even though the X-bow's closer, this one's very, very close. This is where she's heading next. And so all these minions that he put over here, Alpha Dog put over there to try to direct her to that way, she didn't take it because of that 1 building still left standing. So let's watch it happen here. She immediately walks back around, takes that out. Now from there, she stops and she's going to have to deal with the CC troops and take care of all that. But even then again, now she's even that much further from these buildings. This is the next closest one she can get to, and she continues around that way. So remember, she can shoot 5 tiles from where she's standing. She will always target the closest building if it's within those 5 tiles of where she can stand. If it's 6 tiles away, she stops, she scans the horizon. Is there anything within 8 tiles of me? If it's 9 tiles away, she's going to start shooting that wall to get to that next closest building that she can get to. Let's look at an attack that actually illustrates that point. All right, guys, here's an example of when she could reach a building. It is within her 5-tile radius of how far she can shoot, talking about this clan castle right here, because if she stands in this very, very corner right there, that's 1 space, 2, 3, 4, and 5 would put her at the CC. So she can hit that building from where she stands. But because of the positioning and the way she moved, it actually gets out of her 8-tile vision, and she no longer will target that. She actually targets a wall instead. So let's watch what happens here. Deals with the king again, just dropping that rage easily. Deals with that king, takes him down. Then she steps up to take out the altar right there. The altar is the next closest thing. From there, she's going to go down to the archer tower and to the air defense, obviously, and from there, the army camp, etc. Now, what I want you to focus on here, let me actually get to the point where she takes that army camp out, right here. Now, here's what I want you to focus on. Again, she can get to this. This is in her range to be able to shoot it, all right, if she walks into this corner that we talked about right here. But it is outside of her vision at this point, all right, and we'll talk about why. This cannon, which is technically the closest building to her, where she is standing, and I'm going to give her that she's standing right on the corner of what this building would be. So there's actually 1 space there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces away. So it's within her vision. She can see it. It's just not within her even if she took the one step forward, it would be 6 spaces away. This would have to be in this position right here to be able to shoot it over the wall. So she has to go through the wall if she wants her closest, quote, closest target. Now the problem is she no longer can see, I guess it's the only word to use, the clan castle. You have 1, 2 spaces before you get to the wall, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then there's the kicker, 9. This is the sort of the line. She can't see this far anymore. This space right here is as far as her vision goes. So no longer will she backtrack, get to that position, and shoot the clan castle. She will decide to work on a wall. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. That's her closest target, and if nothing that she can reach is within 8 tiles, then she is willing to go through a wall to get to her closest target. So pretty much that wraps us up here, guys. I want you to know, just sort of hit the high points again. What level does your queen have to be? Oops, let me clear all this out of the way for you guys. What level does my queen have to be? It has to be what level appropriate for the base that you're hitting and how much damage she'll be taking on that base. How many healers? Just depends on, again, how much damage she's going to take. What are you going to have her dealing with? CC troops, heroes, a lot of point defense, very few point defense. Just gauge it from that. What bases? Get something out of it. If you're doing an air attack, get air defenses. Get that queen taken care of. Get the CC troops taken care of. If you're doing a hog attack, get at least a potential of a double giant bomb taken care of. Again, CC troops, heroes. Those are all very valuable things to take out. Your tools to keep your queen alive, rage and her abilities. Make sure you bring enough rages. If you're going to be dealing with both heroes at separate times, you might need 2 rages. If you're going to be dealing with a Tesla farm, you might need 2 rages. Just depends on what you're going to be taking care of. And you try to use that ability on the CC troops. If it's a lava hound, you don't necessarily need it. But if you're dealing with dragons, balloons, P.E.K.K.A.s, a bunch of wizards, Valks, whatever, you're going to need that ability. So save it for that if you can. Her distance is she can shoot 5 tiles from where she stands. So looking at a base, if there's one wall of separation, like right here is a perfect example. If my queen was standing right here, obviously she can take all of, oops, sorry about that, guys. Obviously she can take all of this out, but this would be out of her range. If this wall wasn't here and it was butted right up against it, she could reach it. So 5 tiles is her radius. She can see 8 tiles. So she's always going to attack her closest target, unless it's too far for her to shoot over a wall. Then she's going to scan the horizon. Is there something within 8 tiles of me? If the answer is yes, she's going to reroute to that. If the answer is no, she's going to beat through that wall. That is pretty much it, guys. I hope this helps you in your queen walks. I hope it helps you in your attacks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, Jake from One Hive, doing my very, very best to help you guys suck less.